After the United States and France, Italy ranked third on the podium in terms of the number of real estate units on Airbnb, with 300,000 houses and apartments and 100,000 rooms for rent. A considerable number of these hosts are not Italian. They are companies or foreigners just like you who have decided to invest a portion of their portfolio in Italian real estate. But does it still make sense to invest in short-term rentals in Italy today? To answer this question, we need to conduct a detailed analysis. Let's start with the tourist figures. In 2023, Italy recorded over 442 million overnight stays and 127 million arrivals, with the respective growth rates of 12.2% and 11.2% compared to the previous year, 2022. Trentino Alto Adige, Veneto, Tuscany and Sicily are among the most visited regions, followed by cities like Rome, Naples, Milan, Bologna and Venice, always beloved by foreigners. There are, however, regions that have been growing steadily in recent years, including Marche, Puglia, Sardinia and Abruzzo. But what is the best place to invest? From my experience, based on the knowledge of foreigners who have booked houses in the Bel Paese and my experience as an investor, I have noticed that the region I mentioned at last are becoming an economic powerhouse. Furthermore, I want to emphasize that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm sharing my experience and that of people close to me. One crucial thing to understand when buying a house in Italy is your purpose. Are you doing it intending to live there for some periods each year, or you're doing it exclusively for economic reason? This is not obvious. Many people combine pleasure with investment. And yes, sometimes the combination is successful, while other time it may be the wrong move. Certainly, combining the purchase of a house in Italy to use it for a specific period and then renting it when the house is vacant is a strategy that many use and, in my opinion, makes sense. In the area where, again, for example, many foreigners have booked a house that they only use in September and April, renting it out for the rest of the month, the incomes cover the maintenance cost of the house and their vacation. Some people buy a house solely to earn income from it, and this is where the ROI, return on investment factor, comes in, which is the foundation of every investment. Big cities like Rome, Milan and Naples are now saturated, and in many cases the situation has gotten out of control, with illegal Airbnbs, not to mention the exorbitant prices for buying a small apartment. Personally, is not worth it. Moreover, cities like Florence have prohibited the creation of new Airbnbs in the historic center. In my opinion, this is a crazy move. If I own a house, I have the right to do what I consider most appropriate, and the municipality cannot provide me. This measure has been highly contested, and we will see in the coming month if it takes a turn or if other cities follow suit. Espresso coffee, what else? I interrupt you for a few seconds from the video you are watching, not to talk to you about coffee, but about the country where you can drink a good one. Italy. So if you want to discover the advantages of living the dolce vita in the Bel Paese and understand the process of buying a house in Italy, you should consider buying this guide we wrote, available on Amazon for less than 24 bucks. Many people have decided that 2024 will be the year of their change. Will you be one of them? More and more considered are secondary locations. For example, we can mention Lucca in Tuscany, Vasto in Abruzzo, Bar in Polignano in Puglia. In many cases, good deals can be found in these cities, not to mention their fundamental beauty. It's worth adding that in 2023 the trend of short-term rentals exploded in Italy, and many people who don't even know what the word check-in means have turned into hosts, renting out garage, taverns, in short, a place not quite suitable for tourists. Oh, without forgetting that many of these hosts have no idea about the legal requirements, permits to start this kind of activity and taxes to pay. This is why you can find a rental listing for 20, 30, 40 euros per night, including cleaning. If we calculate the expenses and the consumption each structure has, the number don't add up. This year, the Italian government also enacted a law through which the world of short-term rentals will undergo more in-depth scrutiny. by the tax agency. Platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com will have to disclose the fiscal data of the host and the cadastral data of the property being rented. In this way, through cross-checks, the state will not only uncover those not paying taxes, but also those lacking the permits for this type of activity or renting structure that cannot accommodate people, such as garages. Why did I mention this new law? In my opinion, it's an opportunity. This law will directly impact the number of hosts and structures. For those working legally, nothing will change. But for those operating illegally, a lot of will change, since they will either have to comply with regulations or delay their account. The number of illegal hosts is not small. For example, in Rome alone, there are 12,000, a crazy number. So, on a national level, imagine the impact it can have. A market gap is opening up. Returning to the main question of the video, if it makes sense to open an Airbnb in Italy, my answer is yes. If you choose a secondary location in a rapidly growing region such as Marche or Abruzzo, rely on a property funder who will help you to find a deal for this type of activity and find a professional to manage the structure, it could be an excellent investment. This operation is not exclusively dedicated to real estate professionals, but also to those who dream of buying a house in Italy and already know they won't use it all the time. This way they can rent it out when not in use. Also remember that you don't necessarily need significant capital to buy a house in Italy. Even 30-40,000 euro may be enough. If you are flexible on the location, you are ready to undertake a restoration, you can buy a house in Italy for as little as 8,000 or 15,000 euro, 20 minutes from the sea. Those who watching my videos know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, if you are interested, contact us at the email babiloniaconsultancy@outlook.com and we can provide more information. See you soon!